distracted by what's going on with Kendrick and Drake. Big man business has been going on here in Africa.
Rise up, brothers and sisters, boys and girls, kings and queens, friends, frenemies, and you agents. My name is Brother Marley. This is Senegambia One channel. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I've been up since 4 this morning, and I've literally just come out. Right, I'm brushed up water my face and come out to do this video because I've got to tell you what's been going on. Now, I did a video a little while ago where I was saying about how I think I did two actually. Where I was talking about the death of pan-Africanism. Pan-Africanism doesn't exist anymore. That's a thing of the past. And a lot of you disagreed with me. A lot of you said, no, that's not true. You know, something like, keep the faith. It's still there. It's still a thing. It's still coming. I don't believe you. But I'm so happy to be wrong. I'm so happy to be wrong. So many things been happening. So first of all, the president of Senegal, he's been, as you know, he's already been like speaking about how he's not interested in using the French-backed safer anymore. It's meant that France has been able to manage and mismanage the strength of the safer to the point where like $1 is like 700 safer, 7,000 safer. The 7,000 safer is $1. It's ridiculous. You can buy a loaf of bread for like 10,000 safer. It's madness. He said that he was going to check and audit the current contracts that are in place between France and Senegal. And he was literally just pulling Senegal away from the clutches of France. We all know what's been happening in the Sahel region, you know, Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso, and how they've also been pulling away from France. How Niger has told France they've got to leave, and they told America that they've got to leave as well. France left, and America was like, no, we're not leaving. So Niger was like, oh, yes, you are, you're leaving. So now America and France are homeless in West Africa. So according to the newspapers, they've gone over to Nigeria to speak to the Nigerian president to say, yeah, look, we'd like to move in here if it's okay. They're bringing their bags and their tanks and so on and so forth. And Nigeria said, no, go back to where you came from. Nigeria has the same energy as those brothers up in the Sahel region, as the president here in Senegal has had. So I was excited about hearing those things. I was like, this is good news. For once, we've got leaders with backbone, with spines, who can actually say, yeah, no, we're not interested. Now, my concern has been two things. A, no one has mentioned the diaspora, unless they're talking about people from their own country. So in Senegal, the diaspora usually means those people who are Senegalese born and living over in the United States, in Europe, in France, so on and so forth. Not those of us who are born in the West. They've not seen us as part of that conversation. Until now. Because I'm telling you, right, I was in my bed with goosebumps. I was listening to Dr. Arikana. She's over there in Burkina Faso, speaking to Ibrahim Traore, Captain Ibrahim Traore, the new president of that country. And she said that she's so pleased that finally there are men standing up as men in leadership positions in an African country. She's waited all her life for it. I've waited all my life for it as well. And I'm so proud of what that brother had to say, because after she gave her speech, he spoke directly to the diaspora. He said by name, those of you in America, those of you in the Caribbean, those of you born in Europe, your job is to be our ambassador, to speak to those people and those, to your countrymen, to those leaders, saying that Africa is ready to stand up on its own 2 feet, that is ready to have its own sovereignty.
Being here in the country of the upright man is a dream come true. To President Traore, the reincarnation of Thomas Sankara President Traore, who has led the struggle to complete the unfinished business that was started by our ancestors and our Pan-African leaders in 1963 when they created the Organization of African Unity. During that meeting, they demanded the creation of an Africa that spoke with one voice, an Africa that was united. That journey is yet to be finished. What is happening in Burkina Faso, in Mali, in Niger, is just the beginning of a revolution that is way past due for Africa. Africa must unite. And Burkina Faso has shown us the way. They have opened the doors. They have shown us that the bully can be defeated. That no more shall we continue to give up our lunch. That we too need to eat. And therefore, there is no negotiating with the bully. The bully had to go, and Burkina Faso showed us how to do it. So, Mr. President, I bring you your children, descendants of the formerly enslaved. They have waited over 400 years to return the spirits of their ancestors back home to Africa. When the children of Africa were taken out of Africa as slaves, all they ever wanted to do was to come back home to Africa. Each and every one of them that you see, many of them are coming to Africa for the first time. They're bringing with them the spirits of their ancestors to put them to rest here in Burkina Faso. And that's mission number one. Mission number two, we have watched you, Mr. President. You stand for everything that we have hoped for in an African man. Courageous, fearless, and in their faces. France, unapologetically, you told France, pack your bags and go home. You, Mr. President, and the people of Burkina Faso have done it, and we have a responsibility to support you. You have over 300 million African diaspora who are looking up to you. We are here to show you that we are with you. We support you. We are behind you, and we will not let you down. Many of us were told, don't go to Burkina Faso. It's a war-torn country. Guns all over the street. Mr. President, we want you to know that the more they told us not to go to Burkina Faso, the more we ran to Burkina Faso. No one tells them not to go to Europe, to their countries of origin. Therefore, no one will tell us not to come home to Burkina Faso. So mission number 2 is to let you, Mr. President, know that you and the citizens of Burkina Faso have done all the heavy lifting. The least we can do is to support you. So we are here. Our third mission is to see what can we do, Mr. President, to play our part in building the Burkina Faso we want.
L'Afrique est encore vierge. Tout est à faire en Afrique. Regardez comment nos villes sont. Nous pouvons aussi développer nos systèmes de santé, d'éducation. Nous pouvons tout développer. Voilà que dans cette diaspora tant riche, nous avons toutes les spécialités. Aujourd'hui au Burkina, nous sommes en train de réfléchir à mettre en place une université polytechnique, rien que pour former des ingénieurs scientifiques. Et je pense que vous serez les bienvenus pour apprendre à vos jeunes frères. Parce que tant que nous ne formerons pas la jeunesse à ce que nous puissions nous-mêmes produire et transformer ici sur place, nous resterons toujours esclaves. La souveraineté, c'est tout un ensemble. Nous sommes en train de nous battre pour l'autosuffisance alimentaire. Ceux-là qui peuvent investir dans l'industrie agroalimentaire pour transformer nos produits ici, vous êtes les bienvenus. Nous produisons tout ici. Tout pousse sur nos sols. On a tout expérimenté au bout d'1 an et quelques. Tout pousse au Burkina. Ceux qui veulent investir dans l'agriculture sont les bienvenus. Ceux qui veulent investir dans la transformation sont les bienvenus. L'éducation, nous voulons transformer l'école. Parce que le formatage que nous vivons actuellement, c'est depuis l'école. Ils nous ont canalisés de sorte que les intellectuels, pour la plupart, ne peuvent pas réfléchir, sortir des sillons qu'ils ont tracés. Dieu merci, les consciences sont en train de s'éveiller. On a besoin de plus, on a besoin de changer le système éducatif. Vous êtes les bienvenus. Et il y a beaucoup d'autres chemins. Ils étaient en train de piller nos richesses. Aujourd'hui, nous sommes en train de reprendre le contrôle. Et nous n'allons plus jamais laisser nos richesses piller parce que nous avons envie de vivre, nous avons envie de voir nos enfants soignés, éduqués, grandir en paix et vivre dans un environnement sain. Donc, nous sommes ouverts et vous serez les bienvenus en Afrique pour développer votre continent, pour unir votre continent et passer le message de cette unité. C'est très important. Continuez à passer le message pour que les jeunes se réveillent, qui ne nous laissent plus, nous dirigeants, faire d'eux les esclaves pour les autres. Ça ne doit pas être permis. Il y a certains pays aujourd'hui où nous avons envie de passer des messages. Mais je pense que vos voix portent encore plus. Parce que vous êtes des ambassadeurs partout où vous êtes, que ce soit en Amérique, en Europe, aux Caraïbes. Vous êtes des ambassadeurs. Et quand vous parlez, ça peut réveiller. Et je vous exhorte à parler. C'est la mission que je vous confie pour réveiller le continent. Bon séjour à vous. Que Dieu vous accompagne. Merci beaucoup.
So we got to talk about Zimbabwe because Robert Mugabe, I believe anyway. I could be wrong. There could be multiple people, but Robert Mugabe is the person I remember most who was pushing back against the colonial rulership from Great Britain. He's been pushing against it. And because Britain came in via Cecil Rhodes, ransacked the country, renamed the country, and rename the country Rhodesia after Cecil Rhodes. Like, the faceless of these people, they realize that what they're going to have to do is run the country militarily, and that is too expensive, both financially and in terms of labor, because they need to have soldiers constantly going over there to police this whole country called Rhodesia, when Britain was really interested in like spreading its wings and continuing its whole empire building around the world. So they knew it couldn't last. So they were going to, so they spoke about giving it back. And actually what they did was come up with this thing called willing buyer, willing seller. I think that was the term they used. Basically what they were like was, look, well, we own your land now. So if you want it, you have to buy it off of us. And to decide how much this land is worth, we're going to use independent European surveyors to say how much this European seller should sell his land to this African. So it was like a whole con job. Robert Mugabe was not having it. He was not interested in how they were taking liberties with his land, with his country's land. He wasn't interested in it. And because of that, the United States, in cahoots with the UK, put sanctions on Robert Mugabe for taking back his own things, taking back his own land. The USA put sanctions upon that country. So I was thinking, well, with France, what's stopping the USA putting sanctions on Senegal and on Niger and on Burkina Faso? What's stopping the USA doing that? Well, there's this thing called BRICS, isn't it? Vladimir Putin did an interview with Tucker Carlson a little while ago, where he spoke about how foolish sanctions are, because you've got control of the world's money through your greenback, through the US dollar. And what you'll do, instead of having the whole world feel comfortable and relaxed within that American control, you started to weaponize the dollar and started to say, I will sanction this country, we'll sanction that country. I believe he was dog whistling to Zimbabwe to say, look, don't stay comfortable with these people. They're weaponizing your money against you. Come and be part of us. Come and be part of BRICS. Senegal is also talking about how they're interested in closer ties with Russia. So has Burkina Faso. So has Niger. So there is this warming up of relations between these African countries and the BRICS nations, because they already know. And the reason why they haven't said anything up until now is they already know that America will sanction them. If they were to say something as ludicrous as people in America, people in Europe, people in the Caribbean, you can come home now and tell your people that it's safe to come over here, they know that would cost them their country, because America will sanction them for calling back their enslaved people. You know, America's got people just like how they've got Africa. They're trying to have the black people in America the same way. They try to make you feel comfortable. You know, look at this rich person. This is Beyonce. Look at this rich person. This is Oprah. Look at this rich person. This is Tyler Perry. Look at this rich person. This is whoever the name. And at the same time, they're treating people like they're totally disposable. Yes, we can load at these people who are doing well, but these people, we'll just ignore them, we'll ignore everything they've asked for, we'll ignore everything they deserve, and we'll keep celebrating how great we are as a nation. Yes, we'll load these people who are rich, But these people, our law enforcement can kill them as they see fit, and no one's going to jail. No one, it's not going to bother nobody. You see that kind of psychotic relationship that does something to people's mental. You can't be doing that to people, and that's how they're treating the African leaders over here. Work with us, or else we'll destroy your whole economy and destroy your country. You know, allow us to come into your country and ransack the whole neighborhood, and we'll run the place and name it after this guy, Cecil Rhodes. And when you're tired of it, you can buy it from us, pay us. This kind of nonsense has been the way things have gone for way too long over here in Africa. So I'm very relieved, very pleased about what's going on over here. Next, we need to concern ourselves with Congo and then the Horn of Africa. But until then, I'm breathing a sigh of relief. This is your brother Marley, and until next time, peace.